Okay, so we are here. So hopefully everybody can see where we are right now. I'm just double checking the Facebook group to get us all situated, get us all set. Okay, so just give me 1 second, everybody. Okay, here we are. Rachel, let me know that I am good. Let me know that I'm good to go. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody see me? I'm just going to check before I start. I'm in. Cool. Stacy. Gotcha. Okay. I don't know why there's caption on here, but that's okay. Yes, I'm in. Hi. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, welcome. We had a little dance party first before we got started. I am so excited for this 3-day challenge. I've been looking forward to this for so long, for the past couple months, and I'm just so grateful to have you here with me for the next week, really, because I'm going to be coming on live for tonight, tomorrow night, and Friday night, but I am keeping the group open for the next week. So I can see you on your page, but not the bus page, the business page. Okay, well, how did I miss the dance party? It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. You're here when you're meant to be here. I met some new friends. Christy, welcome. I met some new people today that just joined this lovely community. So it is all good. So the first thing I want you to know before we start is to make sure that you allow and grant permission for Ecamm Live to see, so I can see your name. Rachel, my assistant, I want to just say thank you so much, Rachel, for everything you do, all of the support that you've given me throughout my business, this challenge, everything that you do behind the scenes to help me. Rachel is going to be looking and seeing who is coming on live because that's actually going to be part of how I choose the 3 prize winners. So make sure that you are granting permission so that I can see your comments because I have everything pulled up here. And now that we just danced, I am good to go. I am ready to show up and serve to help you elevate your business. So I'm going to be looking at Facebook over here, just in case there's no, just in case you guys are not connected to Ecamm Live. I can still see your comments. Perfect. I see Stacy's watching, Tiara, Christy, Jenna. Oh my gosh, there's so many people on here. I'm so excited to begin with you. So we had the little dance party and we're ready to go. Okay, so what we're going to be going through in the next 3 days is going to be a little bit different than what you might think you came here for. But I promise that you're going to leave with having shifts, strategies, and feeling really empowered to take these principles and move them into your business. So today we're going to be talking about elevating your business with the energy of ease. And so many people think that you need to really work hard, and I was taught that from a very early age, but I'm actually going to show you a different way of how to begin operating your business with more ease, more flow, so that there's not all of this pressure and all of this force and resistance in the way, preventing you from reaching the patients that you want and really feeling like you can make an impact out in the world. So over the next several days, I'm going to be diving into some of these strategies, the shifts. Make sure you have a pen and paper out. Make sure you got your dancing shoes on, apparently, right? We started off with some dancing. And I want to just say before we start, I really want to acknowledge you for taking action, for being here live with me. I see so many people. Oh my God. Brigitte, Melissa, Johnny, thank you for granting permission so I can see your names. And by you taking action, that is actually showing something really powerful, that you are ready for the next step. You're ready for that next level and to take action, which is a lot of what we're going to be talking about today. So some of you might be brand new to my community, so I just want to give a brief introduction of who I am. So my name is Dr. Christina Fontana. I am the pharmacist coach. I am an intuitive healer, rapid transformation business coach, former pharmacist, author, and really I'm here with a servant heart to show you that there is another way to scale a profitable business, to be able to use your gifts, to unlock your gifts, to create a profitable, heart-centered business. I know that there are so many of you that are healers in healthcare, and you might say, like me, a healer? Yes, because you are drawn to me for a reason. You're drawn to this work for a reason. Even if you think you came here to learn strategy, oftentimes people are drawn to me because they're ready for unlocking that next level of their gifts, of their brilliance, so that you can shine your light out in the world and get paid abundantly for your gifts, but also really serve the world. So if that is you, you're on the right video. You're in the right community. So my passion is really igniting and empowering pharmacists to own your light. And by light, I mean your gifts, your talents, your everything about you, right? Your authenticity, the messy parts of yourself, that we want to hide and move and push away, the great things that you've done in your life. It's all beautiful. And so it's really about owning all of those parts of yourself and shining that authentic light out in the world so your people can actually see you, find you, and hire you. So that is my mission. That is really why I'm here. I'm here to activate you. And whether this is our journey together and it ends after the 3 days, or you become a client, or you join my other communities, I just want you to know I support you. I see you. I'm watching all of these comments here. There's so many people. Yes, finally found you all. Cool. Hello, gorgeous Facebook user. Can't see you. But yeah, just really honoring you, and thank you so much for being here. So just want to give a little bit of a format. Today's going to be probably an hour long, just because I wanted to really break down what I'm going to be doing here. So I'm going to be going live for typically 45 minutes. Today might be a little bit longer just because of the dancing and the introduction and all of that. There will be replays available, but this group will only be open until next Wednesday, the 15th, where you'll have the opportunity to potentially, join us for my secret, you'll be able to continue to join us for the next week to be able to, I just got so thrown off. You'll be able to join us next week, and the content alone is going to be just so valuable for your business, and you'll be able to really walk away with a lot of value here. So we're going to be giving away 3 prizes. So for everybody who is on live, if you're on live with me, you'll get a chance to win 3 prizes. So you'll either win, so you have to be on live, and then you also have to do these action steps that we're not going to be telling you what they are, right? So it's going to be you really playing full out in this challenge, and my assistant Rachel and I are going to be picking out whoever's playing full out and whoever's on live. So make sure that you're commenting, make sure that that you're commenting on there so that we know that you're here and I'm actively engaging with you here. So 3 prizes you can win. So number 1 is cash. So I'm going to be giving out cash. It could be $50, it could be $500, whatever that is. You're going to be able to have a chance to win. I'm not going to tell you how much. The content is going to be something that I pick. So it could be a course. It could be something that, maybe it's a free month in my Elevate Entrepreneur Academy that you'll be able to hop in on. And then coaching is number 3. So the one-on-one coaching that you'll get, that's another prize that you'll be able to win as being part of this challenge, playing full out and coming on live. Whew, sorry. I think I just got so hot. I'm like, feeling a little like I need to put my hair up. Okay. So anyway, we'll be announcing those winners on 6/11. And you won't know what the criteria is. So just show up, be engaging. The last time we gave out specific prizes, but this time we want to kind of keep it a secret so that you are, playing full out and engaging with everybody. Okay. So we're keeping that group open, and you will have a chance to join one of my programs, the Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, which I'll be diving into a little bit more in this broadcast. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the journey that I've been on, that some of the things that I've really learned throughout my business that are going to help you accelerate your path. So I know that I shared about this in that first video that you watched. And what I found over the past 10 years was that there were so many things that I could have done differently that I could have just really accelerated the path. So I want to share that with you first and foremost. Generous heart as always. Oh, coaching prize is awesome. Oh, thanks, Jenna. Yeah, sorry guys. I just got like, I'm like lightheaded. I like blurred my words there for a second. Okay. I'm good. Okay. So for the first, I would say 7 years of my business, I never made more than $10,000 to $20,000. I actually wasn't even tracking my income at that time. And so I was kind of like, I was going, through pharmacy school. I always knew I wanted to do something different. And I was going through, my own health challenge with eating disorders. So I went through the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I was doing health coaching, but I was playing small. So I wasn't really putting myself out there. I had a lot of blocks, a lot of unworthiness, a lot of the fear of being seen. You should have seen some of my earlier YouTube videos. They were bad. I'll just say that. And I was trying a lot of things. Like I was busy doing a lot of like perfecting my website or looking at, reading different books or creating brochures and business cards. I remember that was a big thing back in 2012 when I first started, creating new opt-ins and all these different things. And it wasn't until 2019, which keep in mind was only 3 years ago, that I was done with retail pharmacy. I was like, I am so done. I was having panic attacks. I had debilitating neck pain. And there were so many things that were just not feeling in alignment for me. Like my soul knew that there was something bigger. There was something that I was meant to do in this world that was a desire that, we're going to talk about that today, really desire and decision, that I was just like, screw it, right? And Marina Buksov said something really powerful before I got on the live today. Decision actually comes from, I think it was Latin, meaning cut off. Like literally, I made a decision. I cut pharmacy out of my life. I said, I will never go back. And I keep my pharmacy license, but I will never go back to retail pharmacy or any pharmacy job again. Not to say that it's bad or wrong or anything like that, but for me and my soul, it just was draining me. And so I reached that breaking point where I was just miserable and I was done trying to do it on my own. I had invested in a lot of just different like mini courses or like I said, books and different things. And I was trying to piece it all together myself. And it's kind of like trying to piece together a puzzle, but you don't know what the final product looks like, right? So you need help. You need someone like a coach that's been there, done that. And so if that is you right now, if you're like, I'm just feeling so frustrated and I don't want to be in my job, I really want to utilize my soul gifts and bring my light to the world, I want you to write in the comments, I'm ready. I'm ready to make this energetic decision that no more, I'm done tolerating, the long hours, being just miserable and drained at the end of the day. And like, it's a soul sucking job. So what we're going to dive into first today is really about desire and decision. And it's also about not being plugged into this old way of thinking, of needing to work hard, right? I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yes, cool. Because here's the truth. If you are not where you want to be yet in your business, you're going to be wanting to watch these videos, look at the PDFs, and especially showing up live on these trainings. Because if you're not happy where you're at, then, obviously you need to be here. But if you're happy and you're good to go, then you don't need to be here and you're like, you're fine, right? But I know that you're really here because you want true transformation. You want to scale a profitable business. And so everything that I do is we're going to be looking at the internal energetic shifts and also the practical strategies. So most business coaches will look at primarily that strategy and all of that. But what I found over the past 10 years of doing this work is that it's really about the energy that you're holding while you take that action. And I'm going to show you how to actually transition out of your job and what that math looks like and how to begin really communicating your brilliance and unlocking some of these soul gifts that you have. So full transparency, tomorrow I'm going to be announcing an opportunity for pharmacist entrepreneurs who have been in business for at least 6 months and you're really wanting to scale a profitable healing business. So I'm only opening up a certain number of spots for this because it's really an intimate, highly curated experience for women who are all in to make the necessary shifts to create this smooth transition from retail pharmacist to full-time pharmacist entrepreneur. So I'm going to be opening that up. If you're interested in getting one of the first spots for that, message me. I'm going to be free for probably until 7:30 tonight. So if after the live you're just like, oh, I know I'm in, this is me, this is what I want, just message me. We can chat to see if it's an aligned fit. This is really for women who want to unlock your gifts, to communicate your brilliance, to really expand your receiving capacity, to stop dabbling in like me, like I was, for those first 7 years, and you're ready to lean on support. You're ready to lean on shifts and strategies and proven systems that are going to help you to scale your business. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that I am going to be sharing about that tomorrow. All right, so let's get into the training. So we tend to think, and this is one of the first beliefs that I ever learned, was from my dad. He said, in order for you to succeed in life, I was 3 years old, I'll never forget it. He said, you need to work hard. So we are literally programmed to think that we have to work really hard, that we need to strive and struggle, and everything needs to be really difficult. Think about some of the popular quotes that you hear. Nothing good comes easy, right? All of these things and all the stories about money and how you have to work really hard and the economy and this and that. For now, I want you to just let that go. So just literally imagine like it's a plug in a wall and you're unplugging the plug, and we're not plugging into that for now. I'm going to be showing you a different way that's going to allow you to have a much smoother, easier path. Because the truth is, it really comes down to your energy. When you're operating in scarcity, when you're operating from past experiences of how money has been for you or how you've seen yourself, when you're operating from fear and shame and guilt, those are low frequencies that drag your energy down. And money is energy, and money is always responding to your power. So when you're elevating your energy, I'm going to show you actually some pictures today. When you're elevating your energy, you're reclaiming your power, and you're allowing yourself to receive higher levels of wealth and really being magnetic to your clients. No pain, no gain. Oh, that's good. It's allowed to be easy. I want to make obscene amounts of money. I love it. Yes, I just love, there's just so much stuff going on in this chat. Sorry, I have a lot of different screens open here. Okay. So I want you to think about, let's just let go of the hard work equals results. I want you to think about desire and decision equals results. We all have these desires inside of us, right? Desires are a feminine quality. So we have masculine and feminine qualities within us. And whenever we have that intuitive nudge or that draw or that desire, like, oh, I really want to write a book, or I really want to start a functional medicine business, right? You can have that desire, but without action, what is it, right? It's not going to come to fruition. So you need both the feminine and the masculine in order to create the outcome. So what I'm going to invite you into is this conversation about really leaning into your body to say, what feels really exciting and pleasure-led for my body to offer in my business, to price my offers. And this is really how you begin tapping into a pleasure-led business versus working really hard and busting your ass and doing the same thing that we pretty much did in retail pharmacy, right? It's like, well, I have to manage all these things. And all of those patterns are still within us. So a lot of the work that we do in Elevate Entrepreneur is about unwinding all of those patterns and learning that there actually is a new way for you to begin expressing yourself, to say, ooh, that feels really just exciting. I have a new offer called Magnetic Wealth Queen. When that came to me, I was like, oh my God, yes, it was just like a soul yes. So I want you to tap into your desire right now. And a lot of you had posted it already in the group. I do see some comments coming through. Tiara, yes. Have fun with that. Intuition, consciousness, go girl. Yeah, so what is your desire, right? I want you to really tap into that. What is your pleasure-led desire? It could be, I want to make $10,000 months in my business, or it could be something totally different. So I want you to write down, and these will just be quick journal prompts for you to really tap into, and you can go back and look at later. What is the clear desire that exists for you? Because so often what happens is we're like, oh, I think I want this, but I'm not sure if I want it, but like, can I have it? Can I give this to myself? Can I invest in myself? Am I going to be safe? Like, we don't trust it, right? Because we are so used to looking outside for confirmation that our desires are okay, that it's safe to follow that gut feeling. And so part of this journey, and what I talk about in my inner transformation work, is about returning to self. It is about leading a pleasure-led business from ease and flow. So doesn't matter if you see and hear, oh, you need to plug into this algorithm and da-da-da-da-da, and this is what you need to do. What feels good for you, right? And that's what I co-create with my one-on-one clients too. It's like, what actually feels aligned and good for you? What turns you on and feels juicy, right? We all want that. So kind of think of this analogy, right? Like, say you go to a restaurant, you order a burger. Then you're like, oh, wait, did I want the burger? Oh, maybe I wanted the salad. Or maybe, you know what, waiter, how long is it going to be, right? Like, we don't trust the natural flow of how the universe works. So if you keep that desire and you don't do anything with it, it's going to be a desire. It's not going to be an actual outcome. So just, asking from curiosity, what is my clear desire? Then that's the feminine part. What masculine structures, systems, and shifts have to happen for that to be true? So for you, if you want to make $10,000 a month, I saw a lot of you talking about, creating different offers or having support, having a virtual assistant. So we're going to go through some of that, because when I was tapping into everybody's energy, it was really about transmuting the disempowered masculine, which is all about control and forcing and needing to work really hard, and transmuting that to structure. Because I want you to think of how you typically associate with structure. A lot of people feel constricted. They feel like, especially if you're more rebellious, you're like, oh, I don't want any structure. I just want like free flowing energy. But also you need to have a container for this energy, right? Just like I always use this example, the water in this bottle is the feminine energy and the container is the water bottle. You cannot have a desire without having the action, without having the masculine container to hold that desire. So part of this is thinking about the structure. So do you have a signature offer or a container in place where you teach your clients certain principles? That could be something that you create to be able to hold people in a transformation, right? That arc of ascension, that arc of transformation. Maybe for you, it's having several offers, right? And maybe it's just, depending on where you are, it could be just creating one offer and, hey, this is what I have. Maybe it's diversifying those offers and having clear boundaries, right? Boundaries and masculine structure to say, okay, someone came into my world, this is where they fit in this offer right here. A lot of people don't have these structures in place whenever they come to work with me. And so that's what's happening, is your energy's leaking all over the place because you're like, oh, I want to do that, and I want to do that, and I want to do that. But there's no clear container and there's no structure to be able to hold that money, right? Even something as simple as making sure that if you have a product, that the button is super clear. It says sign up here. A lot of people will say like, click here to unlock your desires or something like that. It's not clear. Masculine, the divine masculine energy is very clear. So I want to show you some images here just to really give you an idea of what the empowered masculine looks like, because this is super important for, and I'm going to post these later, so don't worry about copying everything down. So when you operate your business from this empowered masculine of really being able to hold higher levels of clients, these are the things that you have to have in place. Clear boundaries, right? Again, we're thinking about containers and standards. I could talk to you guys for hours about each bullet point, but I'm going to just kind of go through what overall is going to help you to really hold these clients, to hold higher levels of wealth. Clear, direct calls to action, right? Instead of just sharing information and saying, oh, like, I hope someone buys from me, give them a channel, give them a direction. Hey, this is what I'm offering. Click here to buy, right? Clear calls to action. Leading from service and presence, and holding space for clients, right? So if you don't have any boundaries, it's kind of like just having an open, wide field without a fence around it. So like I have a fence, so my dog doesn't get out. You need to have a fence, which is your boundary. You cannot always be available because that's, again, energy just leaking all over the place and you feel drained and depleted, right? So all of these things are part of the divine masculine that I was feeling into specifically for this group that is going to help you create really beautiful structure to be able to then help more people, to say, hey, Susan, somebody asks you about how to work with you. Here's my program. This is what I do. These are the clear results that I help you achieve by moving through this transformation. That's another part of something that I see lacking in a lot of the people that come to me, and there's no judgment with any of this conversation because I've been there too. Like wherever you are, I have been where you are too. And so it's about communicating clearly, and we're going to talk about this on day 3. What is my brilliance? What are the, of course, natural outcomes that people get from working with me? How do I facilitate transformation? What is my methodology? When you're crystal fucking clear on what that is, that's magnetism. That's when people are like, oh, I want that, right? Even you coming to this 3-day challenge, you're like, oh, I want consistent clients, right? So really being clear, and just jot these things down for yourself. What is really pinging for you? What are the things that you can start to think about that can help create some structure, some boundaries that are really going to support you in scaling your business? Because if your energy is all over the place, then you have no container to then receive that money and to be able to scale. So the other thing I wanted to talk about too was really, and I could talk about elevating your standards. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. Like I said, that's so key for the type of clients that you're attracting and the type of messaging that you're putting out. So that's another facet that I'm not going to go into today, but standards also go into, the type of people that you attract. Support is huge. Who is supporting you? Are you doing all the things in your business, or are you allowing yourself to lean on support? Like I said, with me, when I the first 7 years of my business, I would not ask for support. I was like, I'm strong, I'm independent, I got it, I can do it by myself, right? And no, like I can't be bad by myself. I had to lean on support. And once I hired coaches, I was like, oh, this is how I do it, right? It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of an example. It's kind of like riding a bike in quicksand, but doing it by yourself. And then it's like, oh, now I can actually ride my bike on a smooth road. Like it's actually really easy. So all of these things come into play, not only hiring a coach, but having support as far as a virtual assistant, people that can help you really focus on your zone of genius, because literally your energy is your most powerful currency. So when you have strong boundaries, when you have standards that, this is who I work with, this is who I don't work with, it creates this really magnetic field around your energy. So the next practical steps, you might be like, all right, Christina, I get all these things, the masculine, holding the container and this and that. What about the desire and decision? So this is how you create a new reality for your life. You ask yourself this: who do I have to be at that point in my future where I'm making $10,000 months? I'm just using that as an example. The energy lead conversation is so critical. Yeah. So I will come back and look at all these comments. There's so many comments that I'm like, I don't want to get off track. So I promise I will go through and be present with each of those comments, but I don't want to get off track here. So what happens is you have that desire in an ideal world. You have that desire that like, oh, I really want to do this. I really want, to create $10,000 months. Then a coach comes in and it's like, hey, I can help you. We're like, oh no, I can't trust it. We're like, we push it away because it's not safe for whatever the old programming is around money, around our ability to receive, or oh, I can't give that to myself, right? This is what happens. So then we don't trust ourselves and we have to ask everybody else, hey, Joanne, what do you think? Hey, should I do this? Da 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 da. It comes back to you. Your power is within you. So it's really about quieting out the world and coming back to what is my pleasure-led desire, and then making a decision that aligns with that desire. So who would you be if you were already making $10,000 months? What would that look like? Would you be confident? Would you be free with money? Would you start to upgrade? Day 3, we're going to be talking about business upgrades. What would that actually tangibly look like? Living into that, I call it a timeline, or that frequency. That's how you begin to turn to creating a new reality for your life. It's not about working hard. It's not about striving. I do want to show you this picture too, right? So here we go. There are 2 ways to get to the top of the hill. So the first way is what everybody usually does, and what we've been taught, right, in society and from our parents and all that. Go to college, get a good job, keep your head down, be a pharmacist, all that. But I know that you're here for more. I know that you are meant for more. If you're in this group, if you're watching this watching this video, if you're in this challenge. So the first way is using force, hard work, doing all the things and pushing your way up the hill. And you can do that and you can still get results, but what does it create? And you hear people, oh, I'm a burnout coach. Everybody's talking about burnout now. Well, because we're working in this very limited way versus releasing what's heavy. And by that, I mean old programming, old beliefs, your old identity of like, I can only be this way because this is how I was taught and this is what I was reflected on how I'm allowed to show up in my life, in my business. Releasing that, releasing old programming. A lot of these blocks that I talk about, we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome, fear of being seen, all of these things. When you actually release that, it allows you to, it's like having a heavy backpack, right? And you're down at the bottom and someone like this guy, you guys can't see my mouse, but like the guy at the bottom has his hand out. He's like, hey, I can help you. But what do a lot of us do? We're like, nope, I'm good. I'll figure it out. I'll climb. Because we think that we have to struggle and strive. So what is your reticular activating system? It's in your brainstem. Will look for evidence in the outside. If you have a belief that things have to be really hard, I have to work really hard, or else I'm not going to get my result, I can't get to those 10K months, well, that's what your reality is going to reflect to you. That is why I come back to desire and decision, because you get to decide what beliefs you have. You get to decide whether you plug into beliefs about, oh, the economy, oh, the gas prices, and fear, right? That's all fear, power, control. Or you can plug into your truth. So like I said, a lot of this work is really about tuning out all of the stuff. And it's not that we're bypassing it. It's about, what am I plugging into? What is my truth? And not everybody's going to get that or confirm that around you. Like I remember, when I first said I wanted to create a business, my dad's like, oh, you're stupid. Like, what are you doing? I quit my job back in 2019 and we had a huge fight, my dad and I. And he's like, you're stupid. Why would you do that? You're leaving the security, all of that. And it's really about, like, I just knew in that moment, I trusted my desire and I was scared because I didn't have a rich husband. I didn't have a trust fund. I didn't have, all this money saved. I had a decent amount to be able to invest in coaches, but it's about desire and trusting that even though the physical evidence is not here, that you can't see it yet, doesn't mean that it's not a potential. Everything is energy. So the more that you can align with, this is my desire, this is how I want to be showing up in my life, that's when you can accelerate time. And again, day 3, we're going to be talking all about that. So the next practical steps for you is, what is your desire, right? Really get clear on who you're serving. What does that look like? What is your magic that you maybe haven't been talking about, right? Like coming out of the spiritual closet. I've done it many times, right? Like activating, maybe you're into healing or you like Reiki or whatever that is, really communicating that out to your clients, to your audience. And so I would be curious to hear, and again, I'm going to go back through each one of these comments here and make sure that I see what your answers are. But I'm curious to see, what is your desire? What is your decision that you are energetically like putting a stake in the ground? This is what I'm committed to. And then everything else is going to start shifting around you. So if you say, I'm committed to leaving my pharmacy job and making $10,000 a month, you might be tested. You might come up against that fear barrier. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow, of the comfort zone, where it's like, oh no, I can't do that. I don't have the money, or I'm afraid, or what will my husband think, or whatever. And it's your decision to break through that fear and continue along the path. And I can tell you with absolute certainty, that is how I have been able to achieve the success that I have in my business. I went from making $10,000 a year to $250,000 back in, I think it was 2020, and even beyond that, for the years moving forward. But it's because of these principles that I'm teaching you. And some of you will be like, oh, cool, like that's great. And, we won't implement, and that's fine too. But for those of you who are really dialed into this, and and you feel the energy that I'm speaking and the truth that is here for you, those people are really going to experience the shift that I'm talking about, because you have that willing yes spirit to just walk out in faith and trust that I can trust my desire and this is my decision. So I want you to think about, we're going to kind of shift more to, the practical things about your business and how you can start to communicate your brilliance. And, really your program, no matter what you're doing, it could be health coach, it could be business coach, whatever that is, there is a point A and a point B of where you're taking your client. So point A is really where their current reality is. I'm actually going to show you. I made a lot of a lot of documents here. So I really like this actually, because you are the bridge for them. So right now, you are maybe coaching people or starting to coach, and right now they're at a point A. They're frustrated, they have challenges, there are pain points, there are things that they're struggling with, right? And you're the bridge, your program is the bridge to their desired reality, right? Because here's the thing, they don't know how to create the result for themselves. Whether there are knowledge gaps, maybe there are internal shifts that have to happen. A lot of the pharmacist clients that I work with have these blind spots, and they're like, I'm trying so hard and I keep hearing no on sales calls, and like, I don't know what's happening. It's subconscious. And I can quickly dial in and say, okay, this is what needs to shift. This is your blind spot. Like, think of when you're driving in a car, you can't see it for yourself. That's why people have coaches, to be able to mirror back, hey, this is what needs to shift for you. And I'm really able to dial in very quickly because I'm so highly intuitive. So it's really about, okay, well, what do they need to shift from point A to point B? They need you, right? And you don't want to just be a coach. You want to be the have to hire coach. You want to be communicating your brilliance in a way that's like, oh my gosh, yes, I need that. That is what I need, right? And so that is how we elevate the energy through your messaging, through releasing these different blocks that I've talked about. A lot of pharmacists go to overthinking. So you're trying to think and use your mind, but the mind is often controlled through fear. So the work that I do is really about anchoring back into your heart. And I'm going to show you a chart in a second here that really shows and proves how the heart, and I posted about this before, your heart is so magnetic. It's thousands of times more magnetic than your brain. They've actually, tested it on, an EKG versus an EEG of your brain. So coming back to your heart and communicating your brilliance and saying, hey, client, this is how I get you from point A to point B. It's actually allowed to be easy for them too. that's how you begin becoming that have to hire coach, right? So all of these things that I'm kind of just sharing with you here, it's both the energetic part of how you're showing up to your audience, to your clients, but also these practical things. Because if you're not clear about the results that you get people, if you're like, I help people get more energy, okay, what does that look like practically? And we'll talk about that again on day 3. So what I want you to get really clear on is, what is that point A to point B? And what are some of the things that you help people with to fill in those knowledge gaps? Or maybe you help people with mindset shifts or whatever that is. Like, start to piece together, okay, like, this is my methodology. This is how I want to help people, right? So even for you, right? So if you think about this image, oh, it's easy, just cross the bridge, right? Why is it so hard? I want you to just sit with that for a second. Why do you feel, based upon everything we've talked about, why is it so hard for people to create results in their life or in their business? Maybe you want the 10K months and it's like, oh, everything I do, I've hired a marketing manager, I've hired a business coach, I've done da-da-da-da-da, nothing's worked, I'm so frustrated, right? I get it. It's because of this subconscious programming, right? It's the deeper work that needs to shift in order for you to start opening yourself up to receive. And what I want to show you is something that I talk about all the time. This book, this chart, literally changed my life. And this is really what a lot of my work boils down to. It's really about changing your frequency to change your reality. Because a lot of the energetics that go in, I'm just going to give you a quick example of how the energy that you project can show up in your business. So say that you are getting on sales calls and people just keep saying no, right? And you're like, what's happening? I don't understand what's wrong. There could be this unconscious, it could be self-sabotage, like, oh, I don't feel safe to receive this amount of money. Or it could be a fear of like, what if I can't get them the result? Or it could be just this attachment energy, like, I really need this client to say yes, right? All of that is energetic. It has nothing to do with what you are like offering them or anything like that. It really has to do with the energy that you are projecting out. And so when I look at this chart, when you look at this chart here, I want to see if I can make it a little bit bigger. David Hawkins was a researcher who he muscle tested thousands of people. So muscle testing is a technique that you can use to see whether something is true or false. Meaning, like, if I said my name is Jenna, it would be false, so it would not hold. I don't know how to muscle test. I've seen other people do it, but I've studied this man's work, and what he found was everybody calibrates at a certain frequency. So he could muscle test you and see, okay, you're at the level of love. You're at the level of fear. And depending on where you fall on this chart, you will exhibit certain behaviors. So people under the level, hopefully you guys can see this, people under the level of 200, which is courage, his research found that those people had self-destructive behaviors. They smoked, they binged, they did not treat their bodies well. So this actually has to do with health too. Because you're stuck in all of these lower frequencies, shame, guilt, fear, grief, all of these really heavy things. Like I said, when with that mountaintop before, when you are trying to climb the mountain with all of this heavy stuff that is undigested from your past, related to yourself, trauma, whatever's happening, it's really hard to be in these higher levels, right? So if you look here, it says suffering, right? Because you're in the frequency, these lower frequencies that are dragging your energy down. So if you have a fear of not being good enough, that's going to show up when you go to, share about your product or your service, or you get on the phone with somebody. And so the idea is that you need to release these lower levels through the inner transformation work to be able to rise to these higher levels. Because what he found on the other side of this, courage, is that when you are when you're above 200, when you're above courage, you give life, you make an impact on people. So when you're at the level of love, that's when you're living from your heart. Look at where reason is. Reason comes from the mind, love emanates from the heart. This is a state of being that literally just emanates from you, and you radiate real love for people. And it's, to me, it's like a servant heart really emanating from that space. And what he found was that people at this level could counterbalance 750,000 people below the level of 200. So as you rise up this scale in power, it's actually a logarithmic scale, meaning it's not just 400 to 500 is 100, it's actually 10 to the 500th power. So this whole chart is called power versus force. And this is, I know for a fact that this is part of my life purpose, because my dad was, abusive, all down here, fear, control. And I know a lot of you can relate to that too, probably from maybe it's parents or, somebody that was a really big influence in your life. And so my mission is to move. I had to do a lot of releasing work to let go of a lot of these lower layers of, shame, guilt, fear, jealousy, just self-hatred, all of those things, to rise up into love, to literally be of service, to experience more flow, more transformation. And so that is my life purpose, to literally break the cycle of trauma and to empower other pharmacists to do the same, because the way that you show up in your business has a domino effect on every single person in your life. Because think about it, your energy radiates. So the more you go up into these higher levels, the more that you actually make an impact on the world. So this is the work. This is how you begin shifting your frequency to move from grasping, controlling, operating from fear to allowing more ease, more flow. Like I said, again, back to this, this is how you go from down here where you're holding on to this heavy stuff to actually having it be easy for yourself. So this is exactly how we elevate in Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, literally, right? So it's not only these inner shifts, it's also elevating your messaging to really speak to the heart and soul of your soulmate client. So it's not about thinking, what should my next post be? It's feeling into the body. What do my clients really need? They need your love. They need your support. They need so much more than certifications. And so feeling into that, how powerful it is when you operate from your heart and you speak directly to the hearts of your soulmate clients. They drop in for you, right? And so a lot of the shifts that we work on in Elevate Entrepreneur is about transmuting these lower frequencies of shame and guilt, of moving through a lot of money blocks. A lot of pharmacists that I start coaching with have a lot of money blocks and stories. And if you look at this Hawkins scale, you can see really, and I wrote about this the other day, neutrality is at 250. So if you feel neutral about money, that's really freaking magnetic, right? Because you're like, it's good. I trust that the universe is always giving to me, right? And if that's your foundational belief, that is what you will be shown, right? So it's really about working with that chart and releasing these lower emotions, getting to the space of neutrality, which is power. So working with money frequency to really get into that magnetic state of, this is how I now relate to money. And we talked about this in the last challenge about, if money were your boyfriend, how would he say you've been treating him the last month, right? Like, are you really needy? Are you like, where have you been? Blah, blah, blah. Or are you like, hey, I know you're coming home tonight. Like, my husband's at golf right now. I'm not like, hey, where are you? Where are you? Right? I'm like, hey, I know he's coming home. It's the same with money. So there's a lot of that work that we do as well in Elevate Entrepreneur Academy, and also power reclamation and really reclaiming your power. Like I said before, money responds to your power. If you feel disempowered about yourself, about the offers that you have to bring to the world, that's going to show in how you project your energy to your audience, right? And we don't want that for you. We want you emanating with confidence and light and really speaking your magnetism and shining authentically. Because when you shine, when you release these blocks and you move up to that higher level of really serving from love, that's when things start to really shift quickly. And if you look back here, last time, I promise, it says flow. So look how, again, ease and flow, literally, this is how you begin operating your business with the energy of ease. So I want you to think about, just jot down some notes. I know we're going through a lot, but I wanted to really give you a lot because there's so much that I could say, but I wanted to give you really the foundation for the next couple days and share with you that it's not just about strategy. I will say that 1,000 times over. And it's easy to start a business, but it's not always easy to scale a profitable business because people are working in the old framework of I need to work hard. This is what I need to do, but I'm showing you a different way. And so I really hope that you lean into that. I hope you embrace that here. Okay, so I want to just share with you quickly and then we'll wrap up. How does this show up practically? Like, how does this work actually show up in tangible physical results? Because I know that's what you want to hear. So, you might work really hard on a launch or a sales funnel, but all of your unworthiness patterns come up and you're kind of hiding and you're like, oh, this launch is here and like, here's this and here's this, but you're not really owning the fact that you want to invite people, right? It's like when you're putting a party invitation out and you're like, well, if you want to come, like, here's the thing, or you're like, you better come to the party, like, excitement, right? That's the difference in the energy, like that certainty, that belief, like, this is what I'm doing, right? This can also show up with overgiving, right? Some of these blocks and some of the ways that the lower frequencies can show up. You might be posting safe content because you don't want to get in trouble. These are all of the unconscious things that are operating, right? You might not have boundaries. Boundaries are huge to have with clients to really, conserve your energy. So for example, if you're on, say it's a 45-minute call and you're like, oh, well, we'll go for 2.5 hours and you're giving and you don't have any boundaries. Again, that's where this shows up and can really cost you money and impact in your business. So I wanted to share a client testimonial of how this practically shows up and how some of my clients get these results. So I'm going to highlight my beautiful client, Katie, who is a fertility and pregnancy coach. So she joined Elevate Entrepreneur Academy. She's actually done every single program with me ever since last year. She's come to retreat. She's done everything with me and I love her dearly. She's actually my coach as well because I am trying to get pregnant, so I'm not holding anything back here. I'm just telling you guys everything. So anyway, so back in February, she joined Elevate Entrepreneur Academy. She was having some blocks around receiving for her gifts and really owning her power in sales conversations. So every time she would get on the call with somebody, like a sales conversation, she would hear a lot of no's, and she was having trouble really attracting clients who were serious about transformation. And so once she did some of these shifts, and literally this happens quickly, within, I think it was 3 weeks, she had called in 2 new clients. She got her first 5K month and she has just flourished ever since then. And part of this is really about the energetic shifts, but also the practical things that, like we talked about before, creating boundaries, having structures, having systems in place to funnel clients so that when someone comes to you, okay, this is where you're best fit for. So she began charging based upon the potency of the transformation. So pleasure-led, again, back to what feels really good and aligned. And these are the results. So I think in the first couple months of the year, she made like $9,000. So everybody's like, oh, well, how do I make the $10,000? It's doing this inner work. It's creating these structures. It's having these masculine structures, systems, and support in place, and trusting your desire. That's really what it comes back with. So I want you to type in the comments, what I believe is what I will receive, because we're going to really anchor that in. We're going to really just make this real for you now. What I believe is what I receive. What I desire is on fire. I like that one. That just kind of came through my intuition. So, okay, we're going to be wrapping up here and literally right on time. So tomorrow I'm going to be taking you through 3 phases of business transformation, a 3-step block clearing exercise, and uncovering some of these negative consequences of shining your light. And again, if you are just like, I am just ready to freaking dive in, I reward action takers if you have not noticed. So, with the 3 prizes that I'm going to be giving out, I reward people who are taking action, who are supporting other people, who are showing up live on Facebook, all of that. So I am giving away a one-on-one complimentary session for the first 3 people who join or who message me to join the Elevate Entrepreneur Academy. So if you're already like, I know, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to shine my brilliance, to release blocks, to scale my profitable healing business, I'm in. You're actually going to be really surprised at the price because it's very reasonable on a monthly basis. So just message me. Again, I'll be free for the next half hour. I would love to chat with you. I'll be talking about it a little bit more tomorrow. And then I'll be posting your action steps. So the 2 action steps, no need to write this down because I'll post it right after. Your 2 action steps from now until tomorrow is to post in the group, who are you serving? Really getting clear, right? Masculine, divine masculine, getting clear. Who am I serving? What are their pain points? What is the arc of transformation that you're leading them through? And then the second thing is to share a selfie on your timeline or on Instagram, sharing what is your decision? What are you committed to for 2022 in your business? And tag me so that I know that me and my team can find you, because I'm not friends with all of you yet. Although we will be, but tag me with hashtag the pharmacist coach, hashtag visibility 3-day challenge, because all in all, we are here to be visible, right? So it's not just about showing up and listening to me. It's about actually taking that action, right? Desire and decision. So you get to decide how your business gets to go. And oh my gosh, just such a whirlwind of, oh my gosh, so much energy. I'm looking at all of these amazing comments. Look at this. Oh my God, I love it. Thank you so much for being on with me tonight. I am so excited for the rest of, oh my gosh, I'm getting so many hearts. I'm so excited for the next 2 days. I will be watching that Facebook group, and I will see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Bye.